Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to cover transitions. And a transition is nothing more than converting from a lower system, which is what I have right now, to a Hall system, or vice versa. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing we have to do is, just for reference, I'm using a Scarab as a lowering device. We need to lock off our device, okay, before we make that transition. And if you've watched my videos on passing knots, you're going to see a lot of similarities here. So if you haven't seen those videos, what I'm about to show you is going to really reinforce each other. Okay, so on a Scarab, we're just going to do a half hitch here, tie that off. Okay, this device is locked off. So what I need to do now is put a rope grab on here, and I'll just take a simple prusik loop, okay. Now I need to be able to attach this prusik to this anchor plate, and as you can see, it's too short. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another prusik and make that longer. Okay, and so just remember, if you have too short of a prusik, you can always put them together. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this tight, because what I want to do is have these two prusiks capture this load. Okay, now something else we could have done is put a load release hitch in here, which I have here, and this load release hitch would have done the same thing. Okay, but if you don't know how to tie this, or you don't have the equipment for it, we can always do this. I also have a video on how to tie the load release hitch. So and when I do the conversion from a Hall to a lower, I'll be using this. So so pay attention to that, because it's going to be coming into play here soon. But we could have used this instead of this. That was my point on that. Okay, so I've got this somewhat tensioned, and I want to transfer this load, and all you got to do for that is lower your device, and just like that, you've transferred the load. Okay, now so we'll take this out of the system, and you can see what we've done. Now, something I haven't stated yet is our goal is to, whatever's on the end of this orange rope is not to be moving at all while we're making this transition. Okay, at the most maybe an inch. So imagine there's a person on the end of this line and we're making this transition. We don't want them experiencing any kind of shock movements at all. Okay, all right, so let's make this into a Hall system, which is pretty straightforward. And we're going to go to a 3-to-1, and you can start out with putting your progress capture prusik in first. Go ahead and make sure that's going to grab. Okay. Okay, so we got our progress capture. We can load our first stationary pulley. Okay, we can take the slack out. And go ahead and set that. Okay, so that's our first building block. So let's grab another prusik. 4. We're going to have to put another rope grab up here. And if you have a mechanical grab, that'll work fine, like a rescue sender. or something like that. But Pro 6 are light, cheap, easy to store, and they work. So it's always a good idea to have a couple on your harness at all times, regardless, because they perform a lot of functions. Okay, so I'm going to take a bite here, lock that in. We can extend our throw. Okay, so what I've done now is I've created a 3-to-1 haul system. And our goal now is to take the weight off of these two Pro 6. So all I have to do is lift a little bit, slide that down, and let our progress capture the load. Okay, so that at this point we can break this down. Okay, and we have successfully transitioned. We went from a lower system to a haul system with minimal movement on the rope that's holding the load. Okay, all right, hope that made sense. My next evolution is going to be changing from this haul system to a lower system, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways of doing that. So stick around for those videos. Hope this helps.